Cleaner, the only natural and patented produce wash. Eat Cleaner is a tasteless, odorless, and lab-tested line of food wash and wipes that is up to 99.9% more effective than water in cleaning wax. The only natural, patented produce wash in a 14-day study, applying Eat Cleaner all-natural fruit vegetable wash to a variety of fruit and 100 pure guaranteed vegetables, also prolongs shelf life up to 5 times longer through a natural blend of fruit acids and antioxidants. This can help save your family on average of over $500 per year, reducing waste and making it easy to get your half plate of fruit and vegetables each day. Eat Cleaner offers a wide variety of solutions for food safety and shelf life extension for consumers, retailers, food service, and operators. USDA bio-based, OMRI listed for use on organic produce, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, made in the USA, lab-proven, and patented. So if you want cleaner fruits and veggies, try Eat Cleaner. Check the link in the description section below.
Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture. And like with Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections. A selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk.
Go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers, go Tigers.
Tough Tiger talk. Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Sean, what do you like most specifically about Marshawn Lattimore and maybe the attitude that he's brought, primarily going against Mike Evans?
I mean, division team, so obviously we see him twice a year, but it's not just Tampa Bay. I mean, when you have a corner like Marshawn, who week in and week out, is given certain assignments, that's obviously a plus. He's competitive. He's driven. I mean, you've got two really good football players, extremely good athletes that obviously both are competitive, and it's why it's always a battle.
When you're in these one-game seasons like this, does it give you more flexibility as a defense to have someone who's had so much success against Mike Evans in this matchup? Does that give you the ability to just be more mobile?
I think the common sense answer, it has nothing to do with the playoffs. It's you want good players. That's part of the reason why you're in the playoffs. And part of the reason Tampa's in the playoffs is because of a talented player like Mike Evans. And part of the reason we're in the postseason is because of someone like Marshawn. And so they're part of the reason we're in this type of game. And so I think that when you look at the remaining teams right now, you find throughout the roster guys that are impactful. And I think that each time those guys compete, that there's always a back and forth to it. And I'm sure a great deal of respect by one another.
Coach, are there different ways that you can measure, the success of your running game? I know obviously first downs, touchdowns, yards per carry. Are there different ways you can say, all right, we had a successful day?
Yeah, I think the one number that can sometimes be deceiving sometimes is when you have a high rush total and you have a lead in the second half and you get into your 4 minute and so you can have 32 runs, but your yards per carry might not be what you wanted. So, your run efficiency measurables would be, those first and second down numbers. What do they look like? Yards per carry. What do they look like? An efficient 3rd and 1 run is 1 or more yards. There's an objective and no different than a goal line situation. But I think that it's easy to say, hey, get 30 rushing attempts. And well, the important equation to getting to 30 rushing attempts is converting on 3rd down and, and having those opportunities. I'll give you a real good example would be Kansas City, in which we really struggled to stay on the field offensively. And when the game ended, I think we defended 90 some plays defensively, offensively, probably around half of that. And our 3rd down numbers weren't good enough. And so your play count drops dramatically. So that there's an efficiency overall in 1st and 2nd down that I think is extremely important.
Very interesting take right there from Coach Payton.
Sean, defensively, do you feel?
Very interesting take there by Coach Payton. Who that to the black and gold family members in the building? Mentioned that Kansas City game. I couldn't help myself. 17 carries. It was when you have 17 carries and allow Kansas City to have 92 plays in that matchup. You punted 8 times. You only rushed the ball 17 times. There was no way on God's green earth that they would have had 92 plays if you would have rushed the ball more than 17 times. There's a reason why when you rush the ball over 30 times a game, 95% of the time the Saints win. It's very simple. It's not complex. And it has everything to do with the domination of the offensive line. It has everything to do with time. It's about the clock. They tell you all this old fanciful nonsense, but it's about dominating the line of scrimmage and controlling the clock. You run that ball 30 times in that matchup against Kansas City, I guarantee you they would have had 90-something plays in the game. That's not really supposed to happen. And of course, how did we mess up on those 9 conversions on third down? What was those calls? Remember, a lot of those were screens. A lot of those were plays without having the blocking formation in there. Tight end, fullback with Latavius Murray. How many carries did he get? See, that's why it's always good to have a different take than your own. That's why the Great Saint Think Tank is here. So I appreciate the hell out of y'all for being here, man. Let's finish up on Coach Payton. What he had to say today.
I feel like you guys have done a better job getting pressures during the second half of the season than the first. It seems like the rate theirs went up a little bit. And what's the impact of that, Ben? Just having that go up?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think clearly, not just in pass rush, but I think we've improved throughout the course of the season defensively, and that's served us extremely well, because I would say that in a number of games, man, we've leaned on how we're playing defensively. As a play caller, there's a feel for what we're doing defensively that obviously impacts how I call or how we call a game. And yes, from a hurry production standpoint, we talk about that tying in with the coverage. Those, and do I think as the seasons progress, we've seen those numbers increase? I would say yes. And I think we've seen fewer deep balls, some of those early challenges we had that we always talk about this race to improve, because there's little time. 16 there, you don't have 7 weeks to get better. It's that sense of urgency, and we've been able to do that.
Mentioned it changes how you might do things. What are some of the ways that it impacts how you call things?
Well, it's happened a number of times this year. Change a little bit. We've had games where we've had some injuries at certain positions, and in Chicago, for instance, we might punt the football when we played at Chicago, and getting a feel for how we're playing defensively on that side of the ball. With everything that happened with the running backs, we were going to be a little bit smarter relative to it's all relative to turnovers, relative to all of those things, and trying to play the game on their side of the field and understanding field position. And the best example to its extreme would be the unique situation at Denver, in that all of a sudden quarterback, and prior to the game, you start thinking about, all right, here are the things that we can't do. We're going to be in punt safe. Every time they punt the ball, we're going to expect a fake. Every time they kick back, an onside kick. Every time they kick a field goal or PAT, we're going to expect. And then offensively, we're going to be smart about what we do third down wise. And so we threw it. But the extreme example in understanding how to win that game.
All right, that's Coach Payton chiming in with several thoughts on very interesting topics from old Coach Payton, man. Dropping it. Big ups to the Great Saint Think Tank. We're in the building for another installment of the show. Big ups to the family members. Appreciate y'all being here on the Sports Coma. Much love to you and Yearns. Welcome into the Sports Coma. Big ups. Please hit the like button, family. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe and join the Great Saint Think Tank today. Big ups to the family members. We in the building, man. And of course, that's Coach Payton bringing us in the broadcast. And that's a special situation about the running game. This is a very special situation. And to a great deal, we've seen the running attack didn't fail us this year. The only time it failed us when we went away from it. It failed us when we ran the ball 17 times against the Chiefs. It failed us when we ran the ball 20 times against the Eagles. How did it fail? Because the Eagles then piled on with their rushing attack and ran for almost 200 yards on you in that matchup. Or was it over to KC almost two? So the reality is simple. We have to be able to do what we need to do with the rushing attack to get victory. Bottom line. So at the end of the day, what's the moral to the story is when you're in the playoffs, bring your damn running game with you. That's what it comes down to. Bring your running game with you. So I'd like to thank all the family members for being here. Much love to the great Saint Tank. We in the building. Thank y'all for being here. And much love to everybody. Please hit the like button, family, and welcome in to this one called TSC Saints versus the Bucs, round number 3. All right, playoff preview and more Saints talk. We in the building. So much love to the family members on this stream. And like I always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. You are the great Saint Tank. The best of the Who Dat Nation is well represented in this piece. So much love to you guys. Thank y'all for being here on this episode of the show. So I'd like to give a shout out to all of the family members in the stream. Appreciate you guys for being here. As we get going in this round, I'd like to give a big shout out to Brother Jerry. Who that to you, Brother Jerry? GM Kev in the building as well. Who that to you, GM Kev? Good to see you. JT, who that to you? Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you as well. Kevin Conley, who that to you? Collinator, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat. T Dirty, who that to you? Let's see. Well, Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Chiming in from Southern California. Who that to you as well, my friend? Devin C, who that to you? Who else? We got Uncle Paulie, who that to you? Robert Clark, who that to you? Big ups to all the family members chiming in this piece as well. Who else we got here? All right, Gundam. What's up, Gundam? Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat. All right. Let me see if I don't miss nobody. All right, everybody jumping in. Jasper, what's up, Jasper Bowden? Who that to you, fam? Ryan G, what's up, fam? He said, do y'all just see the news about Will Clapp? This could get ugly. Yeah. All right, we're going to get into it, bro. Let's keep going as well. Gabriel Thomas, who that to you? Pelicans Nola, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat. All right. Who else we got? Rose City, William Dickerson, who that to you? Jerry Poor Jr., who that to you? Tyra, what's up, Tyra, baby? Who that to you? Kai the Great, who that to you? Says happy birthday to the GOAT, Drew Brees, and also happy birthday goes out to his son, Balin. Ready for Sundays. Let's get this win, Big Q. What's good, my brother? Who that tell you, Brother Kai? Thank you for being here, bro. All right, Trey, Joseph, Kenny Sutton, who that to y'all guys as well. And who else? Joe Gidry. What's up, Joe? Who that to you? Brian Pearson, who that to you? Let's CT Crush. What's up, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. CT Crusher in the building. Tragic 504. Who that to you, fam? All right, who else we got? All right. Charles, what's up, Charles Williams? Who that to you? J-Rock. Who that to you, J-Rock? Good to see you in the chat, fam. All right. The True Hurts, who that to you? All right. Big ups to all the family members chiming up in this piece, man. Big ups to you. All right. Hold on here. I don't want to forget more names popping up. Swag fan, who that to you? All right. Good to see you in the chat as well, fam. Brian says, Big Q, what is your score prediction, if you don't mind me asking, please? And what do you think, honestly, how this game's going to go, in your opinion? Give me your thoughts and your opinion. Well, thank you for asking, Brian, and who that to you, fam. My prediction on the game, I think that the Saints will win this contest and will beat the Buccaneers 34-27. That is my call on it, 34-27. I think it's a little closer than the two previous matchups, simply because I think the referees will have a hand in this one as well to try to keep it close. And, I'm also betting on my knowledge of Sean Payton over these 10 plus years of him being here, his propensities, his tendencies to get cute. I ain't seen too much of it in the next 3 games, but I'm anticipating it to crop up in these next couple of contests. And I'm kind of bracing myself for some of that in this Buck matchup. So I say 34-27 is my call victory Saints over the Bucks. Now it could be a little larger than that, but I'm just being a little conservative. I would say 34-27 is my score prediction. How does it go? I think the Buccaneers will try a few different things schematically to try to get the ball out of Brady's hands a little bit more. They got Leonard Fournette, who's, according to various reports, will start this matchup. So they're going to try to hold the ball a little bit more to try to put some stuff together. Trey Hendrickson looking good to come back. The Saints defensive line is going to have to pretend like they never played this team. Like, we throw the previous two matchups out the window because it doesn't do us any good right now, except for the fact that, well, actually psychologically speaking, it helps in that realm. And this is a test to see just how tough this team is. They can whoop on everybody else except for the Saints, and they're going to challenge themselves to beat the Saints, and they're going to try to pull whatever they can pull out of their hat. And I think it'll be, and that's pretty much how I see it, bro. But I say, as long as the Saints do what he got to do, if Sean Payton doesn't get cute, he doesn't make excuses for not running the ball. It doesn't come up with stuff like he just said in the broadcast. That's why I played it. That's why I had to chime in, because I'm not gonna give you no excuses to get cute out there. This ain't quantum physics. This is not astrophysics. This is not even advanced calculus. This is football, and it's simple. Run the damn ball, play defense, and don't cut out the mistakes. And you're gonna win the majority of your games. So thank you for for the questions as well, Brian. Thank you for that. All right, Anthony. He says, was that the same John Pierre P all week? I think he asked somebody else that. Josh Go 23, who that to you as well? Good to see you in the chat. Let's see what else we got chiming in. All right, we got a couple of Buck people in here as well. So good to see some of the Buck people. Good to have the Buck people in here. We got a few Buck family members that chime in. They're very respectful people that chime in this thing. But if they aren't, just going to let you know, be very respectful, because you got sharpshooters all the way around you. One moment you watching, next moment you cut out. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. So just be respectful now. We will be respectful as well. All right, let's keep to a degree, because listen, the national media is riding with you guys. So when I start hitting on the media, just understand what I'm doing. Ramsey, who that to you? Philanthrodox, who that to you as well? Justin Wallace, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat. Philanthrodox says, what about Ty Montgomery? My indications is he's supposed to play in this matchup, although Latavius Murray looks good as well. So we'll see how it's shaped. He might be a healthy and active. We don't know. I don't know. So we'll see how that is. But he is healthy, according to what, the reports that I'm seeing. So we'll see if Sean Payton uses him in the matchup against the Bucs or not. Brother Madge Prime, who that to you? Donnell Watson Jr., who that to you? Donnell, who that? Dewan Mead, what's up, Dewan? Who that to you, fam? Much love to you and the family. All right, Tango J-Mo, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat. All right, who else we got there? Oh, that's right. All right, and all the family members, thank y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. And if you, Jeremiah, what's up, Jeremiah? Who that to you, bro? Jadon, what's up, Jadon Portman? Who that to you, fam? Calvin Washington from Phoenix, Arizona. What's up, Cal? Troy Thompson, who that to you as well. And all the family members, man. Thank y'all for being here. If you didn't hear your name, hit the, Tanker 12. There you go. Who that to you? John Thompson. What's up, John? Who that to you? If you didn't hear your name, give me a who that, and I'll give you a who that back, baby. Now, here we go, man. This is the one, Melanin God. What's up, fam? Who that to you as well? All right. What's up, Tasha? Who that to you, baby? Who that? All right. So this is the thing, man. Getting into this matchup and this is Friday's our preview breakdown and the rest of the family members. So we're going to get this stuff done, man. We're going to make it happen. And we're going to cover some news notes on it. We're going to get the injury report kicked up. Space Ghost, who that to you? Big ups, fam. We're going to get this kicked up and we'll break it down, man, and run it through. So we'll get through the news and notes. And then after that, I'll forego the break until after the show. And then I'll open up the lines for communication. Lavelle, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat. And I'll open up the lines of communication. We'll run it from then on all the way to the end of the show. which would be right around 9 o'clock. We'll cut off maybe 5 minutes before that. So just to let the family members know. So with that being said, let's get on into it. So please strike upon the like button. Hit the like button as we get ready to get going on this episode of The Coma. All right. Okay, these are a bit out of order right here. So we'll start with the injury report up first. All right, here we go. All right, 7 New Orleans Saints players, man, are on Friday's injury report for the NFC Divisional Playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Saints, of course, this is what it looks like on the injury report. It's Shaquille Patrick Robinson, DNP the entire week. No surprise that he's been dealing with hamstring issues. Maybe it's time to hang him up, bro. Maybe it's time to hang him up because I remember Bruce Lee would talked about them hamstring situations all the time. And that's a matter of stretching. You know, that's not proper stretching. You keep having repetitive hamstring issues, bro. You got to stretch and you got to drink that water, bro. You got to drink that water and you got to stretch a lot more than what you stretching. But you're getting up there. So it might be time for you to cut out. DMP'd again with hamstring issues. Same thing that happened to Patrick Robinson earlier in the week. Good thing is the majority of our people are good. They're healthy. That's Jack Rabbit. That is also Laddie Daddy and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They are healthy. So they can rest Patrick Robinson at least for another week. Latavius Murray, quadricep situation was DNP Wednesday and Thursday. Wasn't looking good, but then he hit the limited status, which was good, which gives him a questionable game status for the matchup on Sunday afternoon. Now, that's positive because questionable pretty much is today's probable. Remember, today's questionable is yesterday's probable. And back in the day, you know, if you were questionable, you wasn't going to play. But since they've gotten rid of probable and made the questionable probable, they're probably going to play. I hope y'all follow me on that because I damn sure ain't going back over it. All right, Taysom Hill, knee issues, DNP'd. He was limited, and that is positive. So he will play as well with limited status, Taysom and Latavius. So that's good to go. Now, also a really good bit of news for the Who Dat Nation is the fact that Trey Hendrickson's neck was limited Wednesday and Thursday. He fully practiced without any limitations, which means he's on a fast track to get things popping. So that's positive news. Jared Cook also is positive news. Jared Cook went from limited to positive, you know, and you know, if positive, he playing the whole way. So like I said, that industrial strength WD-40 works its magic. And of course, they gave him several fish oil pills, and they mixed a few krill pills in there as well. And all of a sudden, the Tin Man is loose. So he's good to go. Teron Armstead fully practiced as well. Good news for brother Teron. And Will Clapp was DNP in the IR, not injury related. And we'll get into that a little further on. So a good bit of news there as well. Now, Alex Kappa, man, another one of their players that they were looking forward to having in the matchup against the Saints. Of course, he's hurt. He's done IR them on Friday. He's out. And of course, Ronald Jones, who was dealing with quad and finger issues, was limited Thursday and Friday. He's questionable. We'll see if he plays or not, even though they've already reported that Leonard Fournette will be the guy that starts for them. We'll see. Now, also, Jason Pierre-Paul is DMP, which means that's a big loss. He was a good playmaker for the defense. And without Pierre-Paul being there, that's a big miss because he will not play in this matchup. Carlton Davis, their cornerback, he is dealing with groin issues, but he fully practiced today, which is good news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers secondary to have that guy in there. And I got to give credit to the young cornerbacks for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. They really stepping up. And, you know, they've stepped up this year, you know, really that. You know, I really didn't have much confidence in those guys. But, you know, I like what Carlton Davis and the rest of them guys doing. Winfield, those guys, they got a bright future for the future. Let's just say that much. All right, Mike Evans was limited through practice. That's no big surprise. They're dealing with that hyperextended knee. Moving forward to Chris Goodwin. He was DMP today. That's not good news. That's not good news at all. And they didn't give him any designation of whether or not he is going to play. So that's a bit of interesting news as well. So we'll see how that shakes. LaShawn McCoy fully practiced as well. Safety Andrew Adams was DNP'd, not injury related. Jordan Whitehead, the other safety, is questionable. He limitedly played. Ali Marpet, which is probably their best offensive lineman, he fully played from the pictorial. And then Ndamukong Suh was another guy who was dealing with some stuff, and he is DNP, but he should be good to go. I'm told, looking like at these reports, that he should be all right. Now, just to give you a brief breakdown on some stuff dealing with Will Clapp, he tested positive for the coronavirus, for the C virus. Will Clapp tested positive for C19 and will miss Sunday's matchup against the Saints. So this was just dropped on the Who Dat Nation about 30 minutes ago. And just to give you a brief breakdown of it, that New Orleans Saints interior offensive lineman Will Clapp has tested positive for the C virus, C19, and will miss Sunday's game against the Buccaneers, according to a source. This is from the NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. According to him, contract tracing so far has returned no higher risk close contacts. This optimism, this is isolated. Pelissero, reported that the NFL will continue to monitor the situation. It is not known at this time if Clapp is experiencing symptoms, but the source said Clapp is doing fine as of Friday evening. Of course, we know about all the situations going on with him. This isn't the first time the C19 has hit the offensive line. Remember, Teron Armstead tested positive for it ahead of the Saints game against the Broncos. He missed that game in the following contest against the Falcons. Backup guard Derek Kelly also missed 2 games on the C19 list. You also had guys like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Elvin Kamara, DJ Swearinger, Latavius Murray, Dwayne Washington, and Michael Burton. Keith Washington Jr. was also on there as well. So, bit of breaking news for the Who Dat Nation as reported on. This is from Times-Picayune or thenola.com that Will Clapp tested positive for C19 and he will miss Sunday's matchup. So just a bit of news for the rest of the Who Dat Nation. All right, let's move on to the next breakdown article here. Saints allowing 3,500 people for the Buccaneers showdown. How does that compare to other playoff games? Now, if you was Buffalo, that was big to see that many people there. Almost thought for a second we had the cure. But the Saints are bumping up attendance a bit for this weekend's in the NFC divisional game against the Bucs. This is reported by Amy. And about 3,500 people will be at the at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome instead of 3,000. So big ups to whoever said, let them 500 people go up in there. All right, the additional 500 will be vaccinated healthcare workers from the Ashna Health and LCMC Health, the team said. It's just a small gesture to recognize the incredible work these men and women have completed over last year, Saints owner Gail Benson said in a statement. These frontline workers are absolutely critical to the health and safety of our communities, and we could not be happier to have them join us in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome this Sunday with the other 3,000 people while we take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Saints had 3,000 people on hand last week for the wild card victory over the Bears, and also had 3,000 in the stands for Week 15 and 16 games against the Chiefs and Vikings. All 4 divisional games this weekend. New Orleans' attendance is by far the lowest, but the Superdome is also the only indoor venue that has been used for the playoffs this season. The NFC's number 1 seed, the Packers, will have around 6,000 people in attendance at the outdoor Lambeau Field for the game. And Saturday against the Rams, the Packers announced that's just a jump from around 1,000 people. So the NFC's number 1 seed, the Chiefs, are expected to allow 16,000 people at the outdoor Arrowhead Stadium for Sunday's matchup against the Browns, which is on par with the Missouri-based team has allowed for recent games. They're the Super Bowl champs, right? Get a little preferential treatment, perhaps. But there it is. Saints allowed 3,500 people in there. For those who wanted to know, there you go. All right, moving on now to the next article. Lions likely to hire Saints assistant Dan Campbell as their next head coach per report. So there you go. So the chip's starting to fall. Like I said in yesterday's show, you're going to see teams start to pillage coaches from off your roster. Expect Aaron Glenn to be a guy that becomes a coordinator somewhere. I'm looking at perhaps somewhere with maybe Atlanta or perhaps somewhere with the Jets. Looking for because he almost did it last year, but this year definitely you can look at he being one of the guys. You can look at Campbell. He's a guy with a lot of experience. Don't be surprised if Pete Carmichael gets a couple of people that offer him. Look at him for head coaching opportunities, perhaps an offensive coordinator somewhere. They'll pay him to do that. You never know. And then also guys like Ryan Nielsen, my defensive line coach, who rumors are circulating as a candidate for the LSU defensive coordinator position there. So there are several different candidates in terms of our assistant coaches that are on this team that could be hires in other areas. So we'll just keep monitoring it. But to let you know, Campbell, who did play with them in his early on, a day after the local candidate Robert Sala was hired by the Jets head coach, the Lions have turned their attention to a new favorite for their own vacancy, according to the NFL Network. Saints assistant Dan Campbell has taken a commanding lead in the running for the Lions head coaching job. Two sides can't schedule an in-person interview, can't do a in-person interview until after the Saints season is over, but Campbell is reportedly the clear favorite for the opening, with the Lions even canceling a scheduled meeting with Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive coordinator Todd Bowles because of Campbell's emergence. The Saints play the Bucs on Sunday night in the divisional round of the playoffs, so it could be a while until any hiring decisions are made official. Regardless, Campbell's sudden ascent to the top of Detroit's wish list is notable, especially considering the Saints' assistant head coach and tight ends coach has reportedly been more of an under-the-radar candidate this hiring cycle. Now, the 44-year-old Campbell has local ties, spending the final 3 seasons of his NFL career with the Lions, a third-round pick out of Texas A&M in '99. He played 11 years in the league, posted a career-high 308 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns in his Detroit debut, and winning the Super Bowl with the Saints in '09. He has made his coaching debut a year after retiring, interning with the Dolphins, then taking over as the team's tight end coach following year. After 4 years at the post, he spent most of 2015 as the Dolphins interim head coach, overseeing a 5-7 finish with a 1-3 start under Joe Philbin. Since then, Campbell has also served as Saints tight ends coach and assistant head coach under Coach Payton. During that time in New Orleans, the Saints have made 4 playoff appearances in 5 years, including 1 NFC championship bid. So good news for Dan Campbell, well-respected guy. He is climbing up, and it's good to see our guys get opportunities to shine. So a bit of news right there. Now, let's move on into some of this other really great news as we get into the breakdown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New Orleans Saints, baby. So we're going to get into that. We're going to start it off, and we're going to get a few statistics in there. Of course, we know the Saints coming into this matchup 12-5. The Bucs 12-5, Saints 13-4 coming into this thing now, and they combined in the playoff wins as well. So with that being said, what's the series record? The Saints lead the series record between these two teams, 37 and 21. How about that? Saints dominating. Of course, we know about the last shellacking that we put down on this team as well. And as you can tell, we're doing a lot of great stuff. You can take a look at the offense, see the Saints offense right there is ranked 12th overall, 6th rushing, 19th pass. So when I tell you about rushing the ball, 30-plus teams in the NFL, the Saints are ranked 6th in running the ball, 19th with the pass. The rushing attack, and I kept telling you the statistics are fortifying my commentary that you are a running team. Most people don't see you as such because they still running on the old template that you're a passing team. You have become a running team. Statistics telling you that right here. You're 6th in the NFL running the damn ball. 6th. You're 19th passing it. So let that stick a bit to let you understand why the success is coming, because we are a tremendous running team. I said that before the season even started, man, because we've been that for a while. But people, we got a coach that love to throw it. Good to see that he getting it too. He getting the memo. Was a little late, but at least he got it. And of course, you look at the Buccaneers overall offensively, 7th rushing the ball. They're tied for 28th. You see that? And they're second in the NFL in passing the ball. Bucs defense overall is ranked sixth. Against the rush, they're ranked number one. Against the pass, they're ranked 21. They said, well, Q, if they're number one, shouldn't we just start throwing it at them? That's the point of fact. But how about this? Remember, they were ranked number one or number two when we played them that matchup. The last matchup, we put 100 plus yards on them. So you got to test that number one ranked defense. You got to. And of course, like I said, we look at the Saints defense right here, fourth overall in the NFL. How about that? Your defense is fourth overall. Against the rush, they're number fourth. They really was at two at one time, almost one at one time. And their passes. So this is a great defense the Saints have. Look at those numbers. Saints are a top five defense, man. Overall, fourth in the NFL. And then and listen, and I started like that just to say this. The Saints are a top four defense in the NFL. Stopping you, you can't run on them. You average for they shut you down. They're number fourth in the NFL and stopping you from run. Number five in the NFL from stopping you from pass. That's total balancement right there. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense overall, they might stop you running the ball, but they let you just shank the hell out of them with the pass. That's not the case with the Saints. The Saints are equally talented on the defense. That's number one. And then if you have a fire defense and you can run the ball, so you got a top six rushing attack and a top four defense. Do you not understand what that means? That means Super Bowl City. That's what that means, man. That's what that means. A top four defense and a top six rushing attack. You know what your strengths are because the numbers in this scenario, the numbers are not deceiving you. You are a running team and a very good one. You are an excellent defensive team as well. So even though we like to throw it around, that ain't fooling me none the least. I know exactly what kind of team this is. All right, let's keep it going, man. As we get down into a little bit of history right here. All right, couple of streaks and stats and notes to throw at you guys before we get into the breakdown. The combined ages of the game of Brady and Breeze, 43 and 42. That's 85. That's the highest in NFL history. Brady becomes the oldest QB to win the Super Bowl 2 years ago at 41. The Saints are four-time NFC South champions, swept both the regular season meetings. The Buccaneers playoff victory last week was their first winning since winning the Super Bowl at the end of the 02 season. Isn't that something? That's terrible, man. They just been losing their ass off. All right. And of course, Brady's playoff victory last weekend was the first since winning the sixth Super Bowl in New England in 2018 season. All right. Enough of his crap. But Drew Brees will make his 18th career playoff start and has won 9 postseason matchups. All in all, Saints going 0-1 in the playoffs with the Chargers, including his postseason games. Brady has 90,000 plus career passing yards, and Brees has 85,000 plus. Tampa Bay ranked third in the NFL with 31 points per game, while New Orleans ranked fifth with 30 points. So they averaging 30.8. The Saints averaging 30.1. The Buccaneers leading run defense gave up almost 81 yards rushing per game, then 86 last week in the playoffs. Leonard Fournette had 132 scrimmage yards, 93 rush, 39 receiving, had a touchdown in the wildcard win. Tampa Bay's Jones set career highs in scrimmage yards last season as well. And then they tell you about all the stuff that they're doing. Now let's get to our guys. Drew, 80,000 plus passing yards, is ranked first in league history. Elvin Kamara rushed for 99 yards in the TD last week as well. Saints Latavius Murray missed practice this week with a thigh injury, but he is good to go. And we just went over the injury report just to let you guys know, just to give a little few facts and stats on you. As of course, you know, the Sunday matchup is on Fox, no Nickelodeon. This is a Fox contest. Sunday, they say 6:40 is 5:40 Central Time. If you're in the Central Time Zone, that's, you know, as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. All right, now let's get into some of the statistics here in the matchup. Tom Brady, right now he averaging coming into this thing. He's 401 out of 610 is what he's doing. 4,633 yards on the season, 40 touchdowns for TB12, with 12 interceptions. How about that? Damn good numbers for Tom Brady. Excellent numbers for Tom Brady for a 43-year-old quarterback to throw for 4,600 yards and 40 touchdowns. That is phenomenal for a 43-year-old quarterback in this league. That is phenomenal. Drew Brees would have had every bit of that if it wasn't for the injury that knocked him out of there when the guy suplexed him. He had 275 of 390, and the man he had almost 3,000 yards passing for Drew, 24 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions. That's absolutely amazing. Drew Brees at 42 years old had 24 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. You won't talk to me about efficiency, accuracy, leadership. Drew Brees, I can only imagine what kind of year he would have had if you would have gave him that injured month that he spent out of football. I can only imagine what kind of numbers he would have had as a whole. Their rushing attack led by, of course, Ronald Jones II, 192 carries for 978 yards with 7 touchdowns. He's been dealing with injury all season long. He's banged up right now. Our boy, Elvin Kamara, phenomenal. My offensive player of the year, my Saints MVP, Elvin Kamara, got the payday. He's been excellent except for that stupid journey to the strip club in week 17. But outside of that, Kamara's been spot on, dead on, accurate. He's been awesome. He's a young, rich kid, young millionaire. And that's what young millionaire guys do. They do stupid shit. We did that when we was coming up. We was their age. They put $1 million in your pocket and some little celebrity and you that young, you're going to do stupid stuff too. We're going to eventually, you're going to learn because he's a smart cat. But, he's over that. Okay, and he's phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. I shudder to imagine what this would have looked like if Kamara did with his contribution if it wasn't there. I shudder to imagine what it would look like if Kamara wasn't there. All right. So big ups to the family members here. I'm sorry, family. I'm checking the message here. All right. Just give me just a second. All right. So I shudder to imagine, like I said, what would have happened without his contribution because he's a top rusher, 187, carries 932 for the yards, 16 touchdown. That's awesome, man. And then, of course, their top wide receiver is Mike Evans, 70 catches, 1,006 yards with 13 touchdowns. He probably would have blew that open a little bit more. He had dealing with injuries all year long. And then, of course, Kamara was our top wideout, 83 catches, 756 with 5 touchdowns. Like I said, Alvin Kamara is the Saints MVP. It should be considered offensive MVP in the race, period, for offensive MVP in this league. He was absolutely terrific, especially a key piece for the Saints as well. So we went over the injury list as well. We talk about Poe Will Clapp. Patrick Robinson is out. Traquan Smith is not on the injury list that he is actually activated to play, so this is not correct. And Latavius Murray and Taysom Hill, in my opinion, will play. And of course, let's look at some of the statistics, and we covered some of the, just the rankings a few moments ago, but this is the actual numbers as it stand to see what these guys are doing over the summation of the season up to this point, excluding the first wild card matchup. Okay, points per game, as you can see, not that far off, 30.8 versus 30.1, not that far off, period. You look at the points per contest, you can see 23 points held to game. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't think that's right there, man. I think that's a typo there. I'm going to check on it just to make sure, but my goodness, if that, we should be number one if that's the case. But the 23 giving up 23 points per game is them. Now, of course, this is not right here. Can't be right. But we do hold your ass down. I won't tell you no different. Now, we look at the total yards right here. 393.4 versus 388.1. And if you break it down, you look at their passing 298.5 per contest and rushing about 95 yards per game. You look at what the Saints are doing, 246.6, but they busting your ass on the ground for 142 yards per contest. That is absolutely awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And that's what makes the Saints so dangerous because now that they're running the ball with so much force, it opens up everything else to go along with it. So you can have the play action game. See, that's a major part of it, is that you have to allow the passing game. Once you get the running game going, play action starts to kick in. And that's why I'm a major advocate of running the ball. Once you start running the ball like the Saints have been running the ball, and they successful last 3 weeks of them just pounding the hell out of the run. And like I keep preferencing the last 3 weeks of football versus the 2 prior weeks than that, which was the Eagles and the Chiefs matchup, where the Saints did not run the ball effectively. And the reason why they're doing that now is because they realize what we've been saying all year. It's no coincidences to none of this stuff. Why are we losing these 2 games? Well, number one, we're not running the ball effectively enough, and we're not utilizing Elvin Kamara. Coach Payton used him every step of the way these last 3 contests and has had massive success. That was the sea change, the biggest of those that happened while the Saints, the offense decided just took off. We are leaning on the true strength of the team, which is the defense. The offense is strong too, but when the rushing offense, and when the rushing offense is strong like this, the passing game rides it back, then you can start throwing the ball off the back of the run and get that play action going. And once you get that play action going, it's over with. So that should be the mindset. Get in the play action going with Drew, because he's a wonderful play action quarterback. That's what Drew does better. So we're looking at that. Now let's go to the defensive side. The Bucs 392 flat is what they're allowed per contest. That's a lot of yards that the defense is allowing for the Buccaneers. 392 yards per game. Well, damn. The Saints average 380. They spotting you a little bit. They're saying, well, listen, we give up 392, but listen, man, your Saints averaging 388, man. So come on, But how is that delegated? We'll get that in a minute. But 247 flat is what the Saints are doing. That's more like it. And of course, they allow you to throw for 306 yards through the air over the season. The Saints had 246.6. And of course, the Saints throwing that ball like that versus their passing secondary. And that I can see why they're a 20 ranked team in that department. Saints allowing just 199 yards through the secondary and 48 yards per contest. I don't know if this is true or not. Both of these numbers are really crazy numbers. I'm going to have to validate them a little later on. And of course, they allow 86. Now, they stop you and they're ranked as a team, because this can't possibly be right, because this team is seen as the number 1 rush defense in the league. So their true strength is stopping you. So when the Saints took away the one thing the defense could do, which was stop the run, when they took that away from them, it was like opening the gates to the Hoover Dam. It just opened it up, and everything that was below that just got flooded. It just got inundated, because if the wall up front can't stop, and when we bust through that wall, the secondary was already smoked chicken coming into that. It was barbecue chicken coming in there. When you giving up 306 yards a game, you coming in that game, barbecue chicken, roasted rotisserie chicken, baked chicken. You coming in there all kind of ways, burnt, toasted, twisted, all kind of ways, if you giving up that kind of yardage through the secondary. So we tested this, and we ran on this team pretty effectively. So look at these numbers of what Tampa Bay is giving at 306 through the air. They're allowing, but trying to stop you at 86, which is ranked number 1 in the NFL, which is not a surprise, because they were ranked number 1 when we played their ass in that Week 9 matchup, and all we did was 120 plus on them. Okay. All right. DC just chimed in. DC said those are the playoff numbers. All right. Thank you, DC. I'm looking at it as a whole. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Chime in there, DC. I didn't know you was in the building, bro. Chime in. All right. My number 1 favorite Islander is chiming in. He just sent me a text. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Okay, good. DC said those are the playoff numbers. Thank you, bro. Not the season numbers. All right. All right. Thank you, DC. Much love. All right, let's keep it going. Now, anyway, that's ridiculous to be. If this is playoff numbers, you let Washington. You mean to tell me you let Washington throw for 300 yards? I ain't gonna even get into it. I was thinking in my mind, this have to be season numbers for the Buccaneers because how you let whatchamacallit do that to you? Washington throw up 300. Never mind. I'm not going. I'm not going to even get into it. But anyway, that's what it's looking like right now, man. And big ups to all of my Jamaican family members out there, DC. Big ups to you chilling on the island right now, watching the show. Thank you, DC. Big ups to you. All right. Big ups to the rest of the family. Chopping in this thing. All right. Now let's get into the depth chart right here, man. Let's get into the depth chart. There he is. Pooney. What's up, DC? That's our favorite Islander right there. All right, let's keep it going. This is Tampa Bay Buccaneers depth chart. All right, as it stands, Tom Brady, man, is as you can tell, that's the man there. Leonard Fournette is getting the start because Ronald Jones is questionable, as we know. LaShawn McCoy should be able to play in this matchup as well. Evans, hyperextended knee. They're saying he's good to go. Chris Goodwin, I don't know what's going on right there. Odds are they might shut him down. We'll see what's going on as far as that. Antonio Brown is who they all jiffing for. They all jazzy jeffing for him as well. And like I told somebody asked me about that yesterday. I said, listen, I'll take my secondary against anybody. Anybody. All right, tight end Gronkowski, slow ass is up there. And Cameron Brate is one of my favorite dudes, man, as well, as far as tight ends. Of course, he was originally a Saint, and then if Tampa Bay took him away from us off the practice squad, but Cameron Brate is a good player. He does a lot. He can play H-back. He's a good tight end, real talented player. Of course, the offensive line, you see Donovan Smith. Ali Marpet is probably their best offensive line. Jensen is there, Aaron Stinney, and Tristan Wilfs, who just get destroyed, man. Ryan Ramczyk and Cam Jordan was pushing them guys out of the way. It was turnstiles, was pretty much what it was. It was turnstiling. All right, let's keep it going. 3-4 defense in the building, and Dominican Sue should be there. Raheem Nunez Roches. Roaches. Is that a fancy way for saying roaches? Because we got a roach on our team now. All right, William Golston is there as well. Jason Pierre-Paul, more than likely, is shut down for this matchup. One of my favorite LSU players, Devin White, is there as well. Just terrific player. And they got three really special linebackers that I mean, these guys are awesome, man. And Devin White, Levante David, and Shaq Barrett. Those guys are awesome, man. How they move around the field, how they play. It's just a great combination of athleticism, toughness, intelligence. And really, at one point, Levante David, he was their best linebacker. Then Devin White came on the scene, and it was all a wrap. But I love how the defense uses White, David, and Barrett. They're awesome, man. Remember, what was it, last year? He had them a double-digit sack year. Love those linebackers, man. I got to give them a shout-out. Those are terrific linebackers. And, of course, the secondary, Carlton Davis, who's a little banged up, he'll be there. Anton Winfield Jr., who's a baller. Rookie, this guy is terrific. Jordan Whitehead, not sure about him and whether he'll be playing or not. And, of course, Sean Murphy Bunton is their other safety there. Ryan Suckup and Pinion is their punter. And, of course, punt return and kick returner is Jaden Mickens, a pretty fast little wide receiver there. So, who would we need to look out for? We know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all too well. We know number one, family, is that we got to get to Tom Brady. We got to get him on his, we got to knock Tom Brady down. We got to fluster him, frustrate him, and get to him early and often. And while we're doing that, our offense has to be able to score with long drives to kind of tire out their defense. And then when we get on the field, knock Tom Brady around and demoralize him. When you start knocking him around, he starts putting his head down. He starts getting up slow. He starts slamming the ball on the ground with his hand while he on the ground. Then he gets up, and then before long, he starts fussing and cussing at a few people. And then after that, he goes sit down on the far end of the bench with nobody around him. He does stuff like that. He does stuff like that because you're knocking his ass out. Now, you can smile and have fun and do all that stuff when you win it, but when you losing, you got to cut up like that. Now, when the last time y'all seen Drew Brees when he lost, did he get up after he got body slammed, suplexed by that San Francisco 49er defensive lineman? Did he get up take his helmet off and go over there and push Ruiz and said, "You need to do your goddamn job"? Did he do that? No, Drew got up and walked off the field like a G because Drew does it the right way. He's not spoiled. He's not a pompous jerk. This the type of guy that spends an hour after he goes somewhere and it take him an hour to get back to his car because every time he, every step of the way, people asking him for autographs and Drew up there signing autographs. And then he goes somewhere and then he come back and his wife say, "Where you been at?" I was signing autographs. And they asked him, "Why you do that, Drew?" He said, "Because, he said it on the show, man. It was awesome, man. That you never know who that is that you're doing that for and how it could be a special motivating moment in their lives." So it's like you doing it for them because you really don't have to do that. But he doing it for them, man. And that's a cool dude do stuff like that. Now, I ain't saying Tom not doing that, but Tom Brady cussing and fussing at his own people. When the last time you seen Drew Brees do that? If anything, Tom Brady need to learn that from Drew Brees. He needs to learn that. And that's called showmanship, chump. But it is what it is, man. You got to be born with that. That's a natural born leader. But anyway, you got to get Tom Brady. You got to fluster him. You got to knock him around. We done seen this twice before in the regular season, how we need to approach this Tom Brady situation. We need to kind of mimic that, definitely mimic a lot of what we did in weeks 1 and definitely in weeks 9 against this Tampa Bay team. We got to do that. He's the head of the snake. You do that, boy, that demoralizes the entire team when Tom Brady get down and start cussing and fussing and his head drop and then he go sit off by himself somewhere. that he's the key to the whole matrix. Now, outside of that, of course, you're going to have to shut down the rushing attack. If it's probably going to be Leonard Fournette, and then they'll mix in McCoy. We're hearing Ronald Jones is not DMP'd, so you might see him in some capacity there. But Leonard Fournette is seen as the guy that's going to get the ball. So we're going to have to stop that. You're going to have to shut Leonard Fournette down and one-dimensionalize and put the pressure on Tom Brady to win while we putting pressure on his ass with the defense. So we're going to have to, that's that 1-2 punch, that Mike Tyson 1-2 punch. That 1-2 and then hit him. And then that 3-punch combination is you driving long drives on him. The defense is knocking him on his ass. He becomes frazzled and start throwing the ball early. You get multiple picks. All this kind of stuff starts to matriculate because the pressure that we putting on Tom Brady, he starts to feel it and he gives way. So Mike Evans is banged up, had that hyperextended knee. Chris Goodwin is really banged up, has multiple injuries right there. They don't have no designation there, but I'm telling you, he's banged up according to the Friday's injury report. Antonio Brown is somebody you've got to look out for. So these are 3 really talented receivers, Evans, Goodwin, and Brown, really talented wide receivers, super talented wide receivers. They're banged up, but Brown isn't. So you're going to have to watch out. So this is a good matchup for our secondary. Jack Rabbit, Laddie Daddy, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Great matchup. These guys will be a great matchup in the test like they were in the first matchups, weeks 1 and 9. So we have to be mindful of that. And also the fact that, they like to mix the tight ends in. I'm hearing that Gronkowski will be staying in a little bit more to block and doing a late leak out, blocking and then leaks out for a catch and stuff like that. So I'm hearing stuff from this side because I was watching some of their interviews. I was watching some of the things that they're saying, just kind of scouting them of what they can do to kind of hasten the snap to get the ball out of his hands faster because they're not truly trusting that offensive line. And of course, Ali Marpet in there does help them out with the pressure a little bit better than what they did in the first 2 matchups. So that's why I said 34-27 around there because I'm expecting them to put on a better performance than what they did in the 2 first matchups. They got a bit of pride now. And 34-27 is my call on the matchup because I just don't see us hammering their ass and beating them like we did. They're going to show up, and plus the referees ride on the same bus with our opponents, but the bus pull up a little early and then drop them off at the front. Then they go around, then the team go around the back, but you don't have to do that because we know that the refs and the Bucs ride on the same bus. So we got to beat them the same way. And that's why I'm anticipating that. If it's 10 points or more, I love it, man. But listen, it's going to be a fight in there, man. This team do have at least some kind of of pride here. They really do. Because if they didn't, they would have laid down after we stumped them in week 9. But at least they kept winning and stayed on our, trailing us, driving behind us into the playoffs. If they didn't have any pride or any talent, they would have folded up and went away. But they handled the pressure of Tom Brady, Gronkowski, the fussing, the argument, all that other crap. They handled it well enough so they can be able to win matchups in the playoffs. So there you go. All right, let's keep it going. And of course, on the defensive side, we know about them, that front seven, really those linebackers are sideline to sideline. So could we take Coach Payton's Screen Depot credit card and cut it up in this matchup? But then again, you can let Coach Payton have that because when he starts running the ball and we start doing our passes, everything, we start operating the play action, you can't sprinkle those screens in there because you can be able to get away with that once we start operating with the run and we got the pass going, and you can hit them with them screens. You can drop 6 of them in there on them through the summation of the game and keep it going. But I think we need to dominate the clock with the running attack, keep these guys on the goddamn field and wear them out. And then, of course, when time gets there, we got to release our hounds and put Tom Brady on his ass and have him fussing and cussing at his people, have him sitting on the far end of the bench and all that little fanciful, immature stuff that Tom Brady like to do, and they call him the GOAT. Well, I mean, the GOAT need to get his stuff together. So anyway, we're going to flash back and do a quick breakdown of the show. All right, so far we covered the Saints injury report thus far. We showed Patrick Robinson out. Latavius Murray is questionable, meaning he was limited, him and Taysom Hill, which is good news is these guys going to play. Trey Hendrickson fully practiced. He's fully back from the neck issue. So yes, and yes, Trey Hendrickson will play in the matchup against Tampa. That's good news. Jared Cook got a super duper extra large can of commercial strength WD-40 and the highest caliber fish oil pills that you could get. We gave it to him. He's no longer stiff. He's all right. He's good. He's good to go. Teron Armstead is also fully practiced, and Will Clapp, we reported that he was tested positive for C19, and he will not be with the team for this game and definitely the next matchup as well. So a bit of news there, and according to the reports, it didn't affect anybody else. So it was just that. So there you go. All right, we also covered that. We also covered the fact that the Saints are to allow 3,500 people in the building for the Bucs matchup. That's a bit of good news as well. The fact that the Lions are set to hire Saints assistant Dan Campbell as their next head coach. That's a bit of news right there. We also got a little breakdown and insight on the history of the matchup and everything dealing with the Saints. Went over the statistics there, went over the depth chart, and break down players that you need to watch out for. We're very familiar with this team. And listen, it's going to be a lot more competitive than the first 2 matchups. Well, the first matchup was actually competitive to a point. Then we kind of took them away and got them up out of there. This one right here, I'm expecting it more so. They say, well, what 2 you expect if you had an opportunity to choose between which 2 matchups would it look like? Would it look like week 1 or would it look like week number 9? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it probably favor a week 9, not week 9. I wish it was me. I'm going to say week 1 more than week 9 because I think Tampa is going to play with a little bit more oomph in this game, but it's just not enough. You're just not better than us. The only way you're going to beat us if we are not playing our game. And if we're making mistakes and we're doing foolishness and miscues, that's the only way. But if we're playing our game, there is no way that you could do nothing with us. You can't do a damn thing with us. It's the bottom line. I'm not trying to be competent or cocky. I'm speaking truth talk. It is statistical accuracy what I'm talking over here. And you're looking at the first 2 matchups and you say, well, how is that? Man, we are so much better than the rest of the teams in the league. Is so ridiculous. And people don't see that. Y'all do, but a lot of people don't see that because they keep looking at the Saints with eyes from the past. You can't do that. You got to look at the team, how they look today. And the Saints are better than what they were when they beat you in week 1 And then when we came back and beat the Bucs in week 9, it was that beating that spurred the Saints to shoot off into the orbit and get to a point where they're a top 4 defensive team in the NFL as it stands. So, like I say, man, the bottom line is this, is that it's going to be a fun matchup, and the referees is going to be a part of it, no doubt about it. The referees are damn sure going to be a part about it. That's just what it is. I can't help that. The referees are a joke, and we already know that, man. Come on, we already do. So big ups to the family members in here, man. And we're going to keep this thing rolling as well. So much love to the family members in the building. Don Wine Fontaine said they gave Cook some graphite shavings too. All right, there you go. All right, big screens. That's right, DC. All right, yeah, we gotta take that credit card from Coach Payne. Now put a limit on that sucker, man. Put $100 limit. Let them buy one cheap screen or two. Buy 2 get 1 for, buy a couple of cheap screens. We gotta cut it down. We can't let them have a $10,000 limit. You don't know how to act with that Screen Depot credit card. Jay Safava, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat as well. Travis Daisy, who that to you, and all the family members. Appreciate y'all chiming in this thing. I'm gonna open up the chat lines momentarily, family, for you guys to chime in and give your analysis on what you think will happen in the matchup. So just give me a second. I'll drop a link in the chat right quick so that we can so I can get you guys in there. So just give me a second. But the reality is this, man, is that I love the challenge, and every game from this point forward will be every bit of that. You're going to be dealing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then the next 2 teams behind them. It gets a lot more. The level of difficulty is great because, to a degree, I think our black and gold boys get a bit bored at times. You know what I'm saying? It's our level of competition. And I think that's a major part of it, is that us at the black and gold diehards, we get a little bit bored. So it's good that we're in the playoffs because we dusted the dusty-ass Chicago Gummy Bears up out of here. We knocked them clean up out of here. And now it's time for us to take care of business against the Tampa Bay Buccaneer team, who we swept in the regular season. And GM Kev, I did listen to that you sent me, bro. You sent me a clipping from Detillier, and hold on here. Let me drop this in the chat for the family members here. All right, family. I got the link available. You hit that link, you can get on the show. I'm gonna try to fit in as many people as I can between here and 9:30. So feel free to get on there and chime in, drop your concerns. I'm gonna try to be expeditious and get as many people as I can get in here. But Lee says Detillier said that when a team played a team. Yeah, I seen that. Kevin sent me that clip. Thanks for that, GM Kev. He says for the 3rd time, the winner of the 2 games won 17 out of 21 times. I think it was something like 65% or something like that. That's ridiculous. And you know why it's like that? It's a high percentage of the time like that because you are in their heads. You're in their heads. And it's the same thing with, like, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what do you do this year when you put all your eggs in the basket to beat the Saints, and the Saints dusted your dusty ass off 3 straight times in one season? Remember what the Panthers did in what 2018 when the Saints did that to the Panthers? You remember what happened with that? Do y'all remember what happened with that? Y'all remember what happened with that when we did that to the Panthers? Man, they fired everybody. Riverboat Ryan was thrown in the river. Washington had to fish him on out the river. Said, Riverboat Ryan, you need some help? Yeah, man, I need some help. They threw Riverboat Ryan and Cam, everything. We was responsible for them getting this college coach out here. We tore him up, and do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do that next year? That's the thing I want to know. Do they do that? But thank you, Kev, for that. And that's true because it's a psychological advantage. You don't hammer a team in the ground like the Saints did, double-digit wins, and then all of a sudden fall out to them in the playoffs. It don't work like that, especially how the Saints are way better than this team. I keep saying that, and it's not the fact that that's just them. We're better than a lot of teams in the NFL. We are an elite team. You will remember this team as the best team that the NFL has ever seen when it's all said and done. When we wearing that Super Bowl ring, you're going to be seeing that, man, that Saints team, bro. They had this guy was a Hall of Famer, 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 all these guys Hall of Famers. So, I mean, man, I'm telling you, we know what time it is. All right, Ramsey said, hey, Q, I thought I saw Black Suede in the new guy. Yeah, that's what it is, man. A what? A what? No. I don't know. I don't. Why? You having issues? No, I don't. I think she kept that. All right, sorry about that, family. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. Sasquatch, you got to run straight at the Bucs and not sideline them. Sideline. Oh, sorry, that's my son, man. He was chiming in. All right, give me a second, fam. I'm gonna pop in here and we're gonna holler at some family members and get them involved in the show here. All right. Who we got here is chiming in? Brother Madge Prom is chiming in first, and then Uncle Paulie is in the building behind him. So we're gonna get Brother Madge Prom in this thing first. How you doing, Brother Madge Prom? Welcome to the show, bro. How you doing?
Who that, baby? Who that?
What's going on? Who that to you, brother?
Oh, nothing much. Yeah, I was just say a couple of things about the game. First of all, I want to be hesitant, but I'm just gonna go out there. I think we beat them 44-17. That's the first thing I want to say.
Okay, I love
And
it.
the next thing I wanted to say is that I don't know if anybody remember, but the year that Tampa Bay went to the Super Bowl in 2002, did y'all realize we swept them then too? At the
Yeah.
height of when it was the shit.
Yep.
But I just also I know they keep on talking about Brady, and all. You see, they want Brady to win so bad, but I just have a feeling it's just not going to happen. And they're talking about, yeah, Brady has more touchdowns and he probably gonna break the yardage. Yeah, Breeze hasn't played what 9 games in the last 2 years.
Right.
So you're comparing orange and apples, and I don't. Well, you know how it is. You know how it is because
Got to give him an advantage.
somebody actually said something smart on one of these shows. I forgot who it was, but they basically said that the Saints defense is really problems for them. They kind of let that slip out, and they started talking over that point. But our defense is going to nullify them because they're saying what they switched up and they're going to have 6 people now. They're going to keep their tight ends in, and AB is going to go off and blah and all this foolishness. The Washington football team gave them a hard time. They almost lost to a 4th-string quarterback. Just think about that for a minute.
Oh,
A 4th-string quarterback. And a little something for you. Skip. Who that, man? I enjoy your show, bro, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother Madge. You too, bro. Who that to you, brother?
Who that, baby? Who that?
All right, who that? Brother Madge Prom in the building. Appreciate him chiming in this thing, man. That's the great thing, man, about the family members, man. You know, they're just really intelligent people, man. We're gonna bring in Uncle Paulie. What's up, Uncle Paulie? How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Big Q?
How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You know my modus operandi. I got to digest and process stuff. You know how it is.
Well, the historian won't have it any other way.
You got to sit back and look at that thing more than one way, man.
Right. Well, what you looking at, brother Paul? What you see?
Look, you know, I know the family getting all excited and all that, and like I say, I'm not trying to rain on no parade or anything, but I don't see say blow a Tampa Bay out this time, Q, because you got to look at it. Bruce Arians is on the hot seat. Now, nobody else might not say that, but I will. How you got the Hall of Fame quarterback, you brought all these high expensive, you know, veteran free agents and some rookies mingling there too. And you'd have been up and down and in and out and struggled all year long. The owners and the rest of the league looking at that type of stuff. And you know, Bruce Arians is really under a lot of pressure, you know, whether, you know, it's said or not. He really is. Because, you know, if they lose this game, that's gonna be a shakeup in Tampa Bay. I'm not saying he's gonna get fired, But they're not gonna be no happy campers over there. So that's why looking at this not being no blowout. Everybody's really gonna come out here and really try to press the point. Because like you say, Brady they golden boy, and I'm really kind of thinking Q that they kind of had a bullseye on Breed to try to keep him from getting the record. What you think?
Well, I mean, you make a great point. The desperation thing. That's why I said the Carolina up back in 2018 when we beat Carolina like we did 3 years, 3 straight victories. When that happens, they got to have some type of change because you can't. That's unacceptable to let one team beat you 3 times in 1 year. That's really unacceptable football activity. To be honest with you, that is
That's so
something
true,
that they
Q.
won't stand
Q,
for. So
you
some
struggle
changes will
against
happen.
somebody in your divisions, not to mention,
Exactly.
the other opponents you have to play around the league. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly, and that's the issue. When it happened to Carolina, they tore up the team. Everything.
So
Shortly
did.
thereafter, the owner got
Oh,
in trouble.
did.
He had to sell it. They fell on for a little bit. And Tampa Bay, listen, and that was a great point right there by brother Madge, who showed that statistic from Detillier when he was GM Kev took a piece of that interview as well and sent it to me. What he was saying
Oh, okay.
about the bulk of the times when teams play each other 3 times, the team that won wins 65 or plus percent of the time of the matchups, and that's because obviously that's a mental advantage. Especially if they're not close matchups, this wasn't close. We beat them by double digits the first time and destroyed them, eviscerated them in the Week 9 matchup. So when you start seeing that, you got the key some kind of way. You done got this. You done got them broken down. It's a science now. I won't start using my tea analogies and start talking about, I got the tea, I got the tea from crop to cup, but the Saints got the tea from crop to cup on Tampa Bay. That's for real. They do. They got the game plan and figured out on Tampa Bay. That's just, and when you handle them like that, that's what it is. Now I know they're going to put the tight ends and lead them in there to help Brady get more time to scan around the field, but you're still stealing one receiver weapon away from your quarterback. Will that really help him? And then, of course, if you got to leave tight ends and people in there to chip and block, you ain't going to be in the playoffs long anyway if your offensive line you done got as far as you can go
That's
if
true,
your offensive
Q.
line can't
That
block for the
that is so
quarterback.
true, Q. If you got to keep 2 or 3 tight ends there, that means you're gonna have to run the ball, and that means your passing attack gonna be curtailed big time. Which
Right.
how you see?
It's a failed strategy. It's a failed strategy nonetheless because the only answer to it is you can't beat this. Listen, I'm going to say this. You cannot beat the Saints if your offensive line is not together. You're not going to do it. You've got to have a sturdy unit to protect your quarterback because their defensive line is too good. They're coming. And then we're going to selective blitz you with the linebackers. We're going to send Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in on that at you at times. So the reality is that regardless of whatever they trying to do by leaving tight ends in, and then of course he gonna stay in and then leak out, which that don't help him. That gives him a safety, but Gronkowski is not effective that way. He's not fast enough, so he's gonna stand and block, and sometimes he's gonna stand and block, then leak out to catch a ball. How fast you think he gonna run before Demario Davis get to him? How many yards you think he gonna pick up before Demario close in on him? Like I said, if you got to do all of that just to protect that quarterback, you're not gonna be in the playoffs very long because you're not supposed to be there anyhow if your offensive line is together. The playoffs, deep in the playoffs, is for the really good teams who have a balanced team that got it figured out, especially from an
That,
offensive and
that's
defensive
so true,
standpoint.
Q. That's so true, Q. That's just like you know you try to run the 40-yard dash against Usain Bolt, and you sitting over there with 2 broke legs in the cast. On your mark, set, go. Who you think gonna win that, Q?
You already know, brother Paul.
Before you even think about trying to run, you will be distant. And that's why you just was giving that rundown. I was just thinking about the Saints defensive line. You got Oyamata, you got Malcolm Brown, you got Shy Tuttle. You just got Grandis. You got so many guys you can, and not to forget about Hendrickson and Davenport that you can throw during the game and rotate the guy. And that's one thing I got to give Dennis Allen. He really did a good job all season, really, of rotating those guys, and giving Cam a break. I know Cam don't like to move around, but hey, this is the playoffs now. You ain't got time to be trying to talk about what you don't like. You get this. We out here to win. You know what I mean? What
Right.
you think?
Right. I mean, that's absolute point. We gotta have it figured out. Especially we getting agreeable matchups in the playoffs up to this point. The Chicago Care Bears, the Gummy Bears was a real good matchup because they kind of we ain't break a sweat over over Chicago, but we get Tampa Bay, a team we very familiar with. We've dominated them, and then we move on against either one of these teams. We got to get revenge on. In my opinion, Green Bay, even though they have a very good offense, they're very lacking in a lot of places. They're not a complete team to go past. I think they'll have difficulties getting past the Rams. And if we draw the Rams have golf and he got a busted up thumb. You knock him around a few times. Like I said, the biggest blessing is the fact that you not only are super talented, you're the best team in the NFL. You are healthy at this point. Let me say that again, because that's a big part about it is that you're healthy. Your guys not only just healthy but well rested. Drew is not tired; he's rested. Elvin had a break in week 17. Latavius had a break in week. So these guys are rested. Traquan Smith just coming back. Deontay Harris, he was on the injury list and was activated against the Bears. So was Michael Thomas. So none of these guys are tired. Trey Hendrickson, he missed the Bears matchup last week. He's ready to roll. So none of these guys are tired. So the Saints' biggest blessing, besides the talent, is the fact that we're healthier than these teams. And we were able to keep our players on the field. That is the major plus of all of this that they're not saying it. And the fact of the matter is that we're going to beat them because they can't stop us from getting to the quarterback. It's only a matter of time before we get 4 or 5 sacks on Tom Brady before he start cussing and fussing at his people.
True. And then you see Bruce Arians kind of remind me of John Gruden. He'll start getting all red and flustered over there and upset. He'll start barking at Leftwich and he'll be looking all in the stall. Cause who respects Leftwich? What did he ever do for you to tell somebody? You talking to Tom, you really think like that episode of the Clumps that said you think I'm listening to you? I ain't listening to you. Think about it. What Leftwich gonna tell Tom Brady? Tom Brady just probably roll his eye like, bro, please. You know what I mean?
Right.
I done forgot more plays than you know what the call. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not trying to belittle nobody, but come on now. I gotta stay there, Bart Starr or somebody talking to him, And I'm not saying Leftwich ain't no good offensive coordinator, but to me, you got Chubb Payne and Pete Carmichael, 2 offensive wheezes putting their heads together. You got to come up with something big. Q, what you think?
Yeah, great points, brother Paul. Leftwich is he done some good stuff, from a coaching standpoint. And Bruce Arians likes him. You know what I'm saying? He likes what he brings. I just think that it's a bad matchup for the Buccaneers because they still haven't solved the issue why they were losing these games. It's the offensive line. They didn't bring in. You had all that time to fix it, man. You had all the time in the world to fix this matchup. DC, I see you there. I'm gonna bring you in when Brother Paul finished. So you just hang tight right there, my brother.
Oh, yeah. If you notice, Q, just like they did with Pete, they were moving Whiffs, the rookie, all over. He played what? He played both guard positions. I think he played both tackle positions during the
moving
season.
them all
You
the way
can't do
around.
that.
No, you get listen. They Andrews repeated that, man. But see, the thing is, they should have went out. They should have made trades. They should have brought in people that could have helped them build that offensive line correctly. But see what happened was they began to smoke their own dope and their own hopium, because they said, okay, they did all that. Remember when the Saints disemboweled and destroyed and eviscerated the Bucs in Week 9? They were hot.
Oh, yeah.
They were hot at that time. The Bucs were hot. So we beat them at the peak of their hotness. And then they were pissed off. They came back and then they beat on lesser teams, got their record up and said, yeah, we ready. But see, they did not fix the issues that they needed to fix, was protecting Brady. That was the big key concern. You have good skill players, but the offensive line needed work. It needed work, and they still haven't fixed it. That's why the Saints are going to bring hell to them. And keeping slow-ass Gronkowski in there to block and taking another weapon away from Tom Brady isn't going to fix it. You can't fix it. The Saints are coming. That's the bottom line. Like that sound, the Saints are coming. That's what Tom Brady hearing in his
Oh,
sleep. The
that's too
Saints
cute.
are
And
coming.
unlike
The
and unlike
Saints
when he was in
for
New
your ass,
England,
Tom
he
Brady.
don't have no tight end to be his utility guy either. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
back in he'd always throw the grunt when he did, and he don't have nobody like Edelman that can run them slants. So it's a big difference. And him and Belichick still having this battle, whether it's the player or the system. But I'm looking at it now, it's look like it's a system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you go a different team, everything's gonna be different. But you
Right.
know what, Q, it's the thing too, and like I said, I ain't gonna hold you long, but but the Saints offensive line, I just gotta keep on this. Drew, but he was an escape artist of the highest nature last week. But Tampa Bay, they got some quick guys too, man. Drew, a lot of time I saw that bad game, Drew should have got sacked, but them old legs had a little more fire left when he was able to scramble and move around. I don't want him having to do it this game, Q. The old line gonna have to block. I mean, that's just facts. What you think?
They got to. I mean, I got to give credit to Ruiz. Cesar Ruiz playing at the right guard position. Has been
Oh,
playing
okay.
real well as of late, and they've been leaning on him a lot, and he getting a lot of valuable guard and a lot of play experience right now. So I got to give Cesar Ruiz some love and some respect. Andrews Pete
Yeah,
banged
but
up.
McCall been false starting too much, Q. I've been
Yeah,
noticing.
he having some
You
issues
noticing
there.
that?
He
Yeah,
got to
man.
get that right. He got to settle down
Yes, sir.
and get that fixed. He definitely got it. But McCoy, I have a lot of faith in Eric McCoy. He's a serious offensive lineman, young guy. He know what he's doing, really
Yeah,
intelligent. But I
that's a
definitely
good
have faith.
job too.
I think he
You know
definitely
what I'm
gets
saying?
that together, no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like I said, I believe the same. I'm with you. I'm riding with you on that one, man. I believe the Saints gonna win there, but I believe it's gonna be close. That's why I'm saying, Saints 27-21. I think it's gonna come down to the fourth quarter, Q. I really believe that. I'm hoping this, Deontay Harris or somebody in the special team can make a big play for us, but I think it's gonna come down to the wire. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't think the Saints gonna blow Tampa Bay out and vice versa. I think it's gonna be a dogfight. Q, what you think?
I mean, I can see that, brother Paul. That's why my prediction was 34-27
Yes,
because
sir.
I'm thinking that the
And the
Tampa.
refs too. I can see flags hold it, and
I've said that.
other sports like Hard
See,
Duck
and
hold the
right,
defense.
and
Yeah,
and see,
Cam Jordan. Yeah, right.
the divisional
Cause they're
round
gonna undercut it again. Right.
is
And
gonna
I hope
get
he don't lose his cool and punch nobody though. We got see the call. They're gonna
okay.
be doing some dirty stuff, Q. I
I
already see it.
I know, and the referees ain't gonna see it when the Bucs do it to the Saints. And I've said that
Right.
the last couple of shows about helmet to helmets that are not going to get called,
Oh, yeah.
about certain
Oh,
plays that's not
yeah.
going to get called, holding that's not going to get called, except for
Right.
if it's against the
Right.
Saints. The Saints going to have 7, 8 penalties. That's what the referees are going to try to do. But the only way to do that, the official neutralizer of stuff like that is running the ball and dominating the line of scrimmage, taking the clock away, opportunities away from the referees would then have to be really blatantly, obviously have to start cheating, and then it'll be really noticeably doing that. And then they don't like to do that. They like to throw it in the floor of the game so they can mix it in the gray area.
Right.
So I mean,
Right. You
but
right, Q. You
but
sure right.
this is a situation when you're the divisional round and into the championship round. Listen, none of these teams are better than the Saints. None of them. None of these NFC teams are. They're all flawed. We got the great Aaron Rodgers. He's terrific, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't play defense. And that's the issue with Green Bay. They can't stop the run, and the secondary is all right, but
That's
they're not great.
right.
These are not the teams that we playing in the playoffs are not complete teams. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line is horrible. It's not good. They don't have a good line to protect the man. You can't go far in the playoffs with a weak ass line. Are you kidding me? So I mean, and then of course the Rams,
The
they have their
defense
issues.
just started to get good near the playoffs. The defense has been lagging all year up and down. You know?
So I mean, that's a part
So
of
you're
it, but you
right.
gotta look
You're
out for
right.
the referees. The referees going to be a major part of
Yeah,
helping out the
man.
game. But the
That's
same, but
the
long
X
as we do,
factor there.
but long as we do, we got a reputation for beating the opposing teams as well as the referees. We already know this, so we're gonna do whatever it takes in terms of us doing it within the rule of the game to win this game because we are that much better than all of these teams. We are better than these teams. You go back and look at the losses. The losses wasn't just because they were better than the Saints. No, the Saints wasn't operating the correct game plan. Had the Saints done the balanced game plan and the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Packers and the Raiders matchups, you'd have beat those
Right.
teams. You would have beat them. You would have beat them. Nobody told you to do 15 straight passing plays in the back of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. Who told you to do that? If you running a balanced system, you went. See, I remember all that because I did my research and my homework on that. And I looked at those games several times and said, man, the Saints could have went undefeated in the regular season. People like, come on, Q, let me. It's all about execution. The Saints are head and shoulders better than the rest of the teams in the NFL. I've been saying that. Their top team is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs did all that, and the Saints stopped them from passing the ball. They ain't throw the ball deep to 23 yards. Nobody did that to them the entire season. And we punted 8 times. If we'd have kicked field goals half the times we punted, we would have beat them. So, I mean, we didn't play our games in the KC games. Nobody could play with the Saints. And I'm not being confident. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and how great this. And when it's all said and done, and this team is hoisting that Lombardi in the air, this team will go down as one of the best teams in NFL history. This is going to be the best team you're watching right now. You are a witness to the greatest team in Saints history. You are a witness. So when you get old in the tooth, you can tell your grandchildren that you witnessed the greatest team in Saints history is before you. That's what they'll go down with Drew Brees and Elvin Kamara, Mike Thomas and Cam and everybody else, Malcolm and Emmanuel, the greatest team in NFL in Saints history, and most certainly when it comes down to it, could be saying in NFL history, could be the Saints. I'm telling you, this is a historic team that we watching here. We're head and shoulders better than our opposition. And the only time you lose is when you get too cute and you do dumbass, imbalanced game plans that ultimately serve to help your opponents win. Like we did when we ran 15 straight passing plays against the Packers. Remember that? Yeah, and when we didn't run the ball well against the Raiders, we were up on the Raiders and didn't let them come back. You remember that? How about leaving your team, your defense on the field against the Chiefs for 40 goddamn minutes and 92 plays in the game? That's what happens when you don't operate a balanced game plan. But the positive is that Sean Payton he's doing a terrific job the last 3 weeks of dominating, using the running game. And I've been telling y'all all damn season long before it started. The strength of the Saints team is not the passing game, it's the running game. And I just showed you statistics that's showing you that the Saints are ranked 6th in the NFL in running the ball and 19th in the NFL in throwing it. You are a running team. That's the secret that they don't know. They're going to keep looking at you for the pass, but you beating them because they look and they don't understand that you done transitioned into a running team, which you were supposed to do because you got a 40-year-old quarterback that shouldn't be throwing the ball above 35 times a contest.
That's so true, Q. I'm glad you brought that up. How you see that the pass run ratio play calling? So you're gonna have to stay under 30 passes. What you think, Q?
It looked good in the matchup, and it keeps him fresh getting into the playoffs. The guy's 42 years old. You got to keep his reps down. He's in terrific shape. Gotcha. But when you carrying, the Saints have activated carrying on this year's depth chart. They have 4 running backs on the roster. Why are you keeping that many running backs if you don't have any intention of running some of those running backs? You got to be able to use those running backs. And you give it to Alvin Kamara. When you give it to Alvin Kamara, he makes good things happen. And then he's such a great weapon where you don't have to take him off the field. You can move him in other places while a guy like Latavius come on there and pound you for 4.5, 5 yards per carry. So it's just having the confidence to use the guys that you have to their optimal levels. You will be, and then we don't have to overburden Alvin with certain amount because we're so talented. And like I said, the Carolina Panthers game, the Minnesota Vikings games were key benchmarks that made stabs in the mind of an offensive person like Sean Payton, who's prefer to pass the ball more than run the ball. When he's seen his team put 7 rushing touchdowns up on the Vikings because that game was close up to a point until the Saints started running the ball. Then they got away from them. Then they exploded away from the Vikings. The Saints didn't even have a running back room. They had utility players that went into the Carolina game and they put up 150 something yards on Carolina without any running backs and using Ty Montgomery. By the way, Ty Montgomery didn't start at all. It was his first time starting. They didn't have a fullback, didn't have a running back coach, none of that. They put up a $150 on him in the come on. That's your running attack. Your running attack is the strength of this team. And then when Drew, what happened in that game? Drew operated the play action on the back of Ty Montgomery and did really well. The Minnesota game, Drew had 119 passing yards, he had 300, but 119 play action passing yards, working the play action on 26 or so pass attempts, 300 yards off of 26. That's how it's supposed to look when you're running the ball. You keep Drew fresh. You keep that offense moving. When you're running it, that play action kick in, you can sprinkle the screens, and there's nothing anybody could do about stopping you and moving forward. So, Brother Paul, I'm going to give you the last thought on that, then we're going to move on to the next guy.
Oh, yeah. Man, I appreciate that, Q. And that's while you talking, I was seeing that, man. Drew, he's going to have to get the ball to Troutman, Cook, Callaway, Deontay Harris, you name them. They can get a ball. Everybody get at least 2 or 3 catches a piece, because they're going to be trying to, key in and take Mike Thomas and Kamara out too. And don't be surprised, Q. They go try to stop the running game. I think they go jam that box up there and try to stop it from running the ball.
That's
but
perfect.
It's going to work out.
I want you to do that though, because that's what I'm saying. They only play. You playing chess. Sean Payton playing chess. They playing checkers. No, better yet, Sean Payton playing Chinese checkers.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different world.
He playing Chinese checkers on. He playing Chinese checkers.
Play no Chinese checker now.
Come on, he playing. That's what he do. Because the reality is that if you move up to the Saints line to guard them to stop the run, the Saints gonna attack that weak secondary. And we know the strength of the team is the Buccaneers is their front seven, and they rely a lot on the linebackers, the guys like Barrett, the guys I was giving a lot of credit to, Devin White, Shaq Barrett, and Levante David. Those guys are terrific because what they do is they move around the field just like it's like 3 Demario Davises out there, just running around trying to cover everything up. So they rely on those linebackers a lot to play that scheme to fill in. The JPP's not going to be there. So they rely on their linebackers a lot in strength, and they're going to be trying to drop them and all this kind of stuff. So they're going to have to come up to play the run. They're going to do it. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. It didn't work in the first 2 matchups. It won't work. Not right. It ain't going to work. So if you have to come up to play the run, we're just going to go over the top of you. So pick your poison. How you want to die here? You want to die with a slow clock or me bombing you out? Either way, we're going to get this out. Either way, pick your poison. Pick your poison because either way, it's not going to be a happy day for you. And and it's just what it is, man. The Saints are a better team than the Bucs. I'm not disrespecting the Succaneers. That was a disrespect, by the way, me calling you Succaneer. But listen, but there's no disrespect. Keep these seriously. Tampa Bay is just not there yet. They're not. When we beat you like that, you're not there yet. And when we beat you again, man, listen, bro, they're gonna make excuses for them. We already know. But I'm telling the great Saint Think Tank and the rest of the Who Dat Nation out there that y'all are watching the greatest team and the greatest Saints team and this whole entire Saints history is this version of the team. This is the best team that you've ever fielded before, and they are going to continue to whoop ass. And there's not one team in the playoffs left that can stand toe-to-toe with the Saints. I'm just keeping it real.
Well, I'm right there with you, Q. I just wanted, like I said, I wanted it with a second party with the Lombardi part too. That would be so nice, Q.
Right.
Be so nice. But who that to you, Q, and DC and the family, and man, we want to come back here next week and be smiling. We don't want to be crying now.
Oh no, we gonna get this one here now. Ain't no doubt about that. We got this, bro. We gonna get it. But who that to you, brother Paul? Thank you, my friend. And I'm gonna talk to you.
Who that to you? All right, now y'all take it easy.
You too, my brother. Peace. That's Uncle Paulie there, man. Big ups to Uncle Paulie chiming in the great Saint Think Tank. Much love to him. DC, are you on the line, bro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, all right.
What's up?
What's going on, bro? How's the weather out there?
It's cold as hell, Q. You know I'm in New Orleans, man. What are you talking about?
I thought you done went further
It's
south, my
freezing for
friend.
us. What'd you say?
I thought you went further south, my friend.
No, not that far south, brother. You know, I told you I'm from the island of the NO, you hear me?
All right, I got you, bro. You can
And
tell that.
bird's eye view of the Superdome.
I hear you, bro. You can tell that mess to somebody that don't know you. All right, welcome to the show, there, DC. What you got to say today, bro?
Oh man, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait to see the trilogy, the old man trilogy, bro. I'm gonna turn on the History Channel and I'm gonna watch the Saints beat the hell out of old Tom Brady, bro. Cause they acting like we ain't got a chance in hell, and we the one that done beat the teams in dominant fashion the last 2 times. I actually been watching some of the media this week, bro. They're cranking the hell up, bro. Tom Brady just gonna magically pull a rabbit out of a hat with no logic, rhyme, or reason. Nobody has anything that they're saying that make any goddamn sense. Talking about, well, it's Tom Brady, and when he signed up for this, and it's Tom Brady in the playoffs is different. And well, last time I checked, Tom Brady won all them rings with the Patriots, Bill Belichick, and a bunch of players that they were able to gather up to make a good goddamn team. They act like Tom Brady, they're like this basketball, bro. We gonna play 1-on-11. That's what we doing. So I can't wait to see it, Q, bro. Uh, Sean Payton, I believe, is motivated to call the right game. This is basically a layup for us if we just make the right fundamental plays and not get too cute. You heard me. I heard you talking about him going to Screen Depot. I called the credit card company.
Yeah, they cut
Q. They
off.
say he has enough.
All
No, they
right.
didn't cut it off. But they didn't cut it off. They say, but he has enough for 1 to 2 purchases, depending on how much he gonna divvy it up. So they
Good. DC, I'm
assured
happy
us,
to hear that.
right? They assured us that he will not be purchasing that many screens this week. They they have put a restriction on his card for the foreseeable future until the playoffs and the Super Bowl is over. So I think we good there, bro.
Well, I mean, listen, man. We had like what 4 or 5 screens in that Chicago Bears matchup. I want to say, I think it was the screen count was like 5 or 6 of them. I'm not really mad when they're like that. Because you sprinkle them in there.
They
When you're
weren't
running
all
the
having
bus.
Kamara though. You noticed that, right?
Right. I seen what he was doing. So I counted like 6 of them. And always have the family members like Charles and the rest of the family members on screen count and counting how many screens that Coach Payton's running. Seriously,
Well,
bro, we got to keep a count of
Q,
it, bro.
Q, Q. The credit card company also told me that he could only purchase maybe 2 screens this week, but they said you can't take into account screens that he has already purchased
Oh man,
that he
yeah, that's
hasn't
the
used yet.
question. That's the
So
question. How many you got at the garage,
if,
DC? How many you got hiding in the garage, bro? Oh
man,
man.
them people was giving me some of the statistics on them numbers, bro. They say Sean Payton used to go in there and buy 20 damn screens at a time. So
What the hell he doing with them? Wholesaling them? Oh man, he
I don't
buying
know
so
how
many
many.
of
I
them. I
don't
thought
know
he
how
was
many he got.
wholesaling them. Oh
I don't know
man.
how many you got, but what I do know, you say the man not a genius, but you say he's smart. So I can tell you this: whatever screens he got left, he gonna make sure he ration them out. So I'm pretty
Good.
sure that's gonna work in our favor.
I love it. I love that. That's good to hear. DC dropping real good knowledge right here. Checking on Coach Payton with his Screen Depot card, no doubt about it, bro. But yeah,
I had to do it, bro.
it did address that media, man, commentary that you just sprinkled on them, bro. Absolutely, bro. It's been and listen, I don't have a problem with the people opinionating, you know what I'm saying? But when you're going to have a discussion with somebody, you're supposed to be a professional. You're supposed to be bringing some statistics, something fathomable, something real and
Man,
tangible that we can go back and
they ain't backing
research.
it by no stats, Q.
Right now, I mean, and then it's just amazing.
I didn't hear one stat, Q, other than the look in Tom Brady's eyes. I said, what the hell?
The look in his
Tom
eyes.
Brady is the second. Tom Brady is the second coming of Jesus Christ on SportsCenter right now, bro.
Oh my
I swear to
goodness.
God, bro. I swear to God.
I put that on my life.
Well, I believe that because we know they got a
believing
church.
in him.
I know I done
They
said that.
do. Max Kellerman, the only one who didn't attend, and Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp looked like he was trying to go to the service, and he kind of shook his head and came out of it.
Skip.
Let me tell you something, Skip.
Skip. You don't say skip.
My lip.
You say skip.
Look at my.
This eyes. The crazy eye gestures on Shay, man, is something else. Skip. You don't say skip. He goes skip. But the reality is, man, like I know his compatriot, Skip Skeletor Bayless, is definitely a member of the International Universal the first annual Universal Church of Tom Brady. Is definitely he's the top key master deacon in the church. Skip Skeletor Bayless has several figurines on his bedside dressers in which he rolls over and prays to. And also it's a bobblehead figurine in which he rides with in his car to work. So we know Skip Skeletor Bayless and Kyle and Kyle Patty, Kyle Hurd, Ryan, I don't know so much about Clark and the rest of these guys, but Dan Awful of Larsky and the rest of these buffoonish commentators, they're all the same. They're a part of the Universal Church of Tom Brady worshipers. So, I mean, and they call him the GOAT. So, they worshiping the GOAT, which would make me think that some kind of way he must be tied to that GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's why y'all doing it? Okay, I got you now. But it's funny, man. It's really crazy. DC, you still where? Okay, sound like DC.
I'm here, brother.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Ryan Clark don't attend the church, though, Big Q. You made an error there, bro. He's a part of the He-Man Saints Haters Club. He got his own coalition.
The what?
And then they put that all together. The He-Man Saints Haters Club.
The He-Man Hater?
The He-Man Saints Haters Club.
He was picking the Saints to win the game. He a fence rider, ain't no doubt about it, bro.
He started that up. He's been a part of that coalition, bro, and that doctrine has been running strong for about 4 or 5 years now. And it doesn't always involve Tom Brady. It usually is whoever the Saints is against. But we so good this year, he's trying to save face. So he's waiting to see what happens, and then he gonna go against us as soon as we show him on in the week. So
I know
Ryan Clark is not in the Brady church. I'm pretty sure he visits the church.
He goes there all the time.
They told me, he got his own coalition of the Saints He-Man Haters Club. That's a goddamn shame because he's from here.
I don't know where
this has been going on for some time, Q.
I don't know
Every
where
team we play is better than Saints.
I'm starting to think he relocated here from somewhere, probably from Texas somewhere, because I mean, come on, bro. You play football. I expect somebody like a celebrity like a Lil Wayne to pick the Green Bay Packers. He don't know shit from Shinola about sports anyway. I mean, I like.
Man, you heard why that dude say he a Green Bay Packers fan?
Because he liked the green and yellow combination.
No, he said when he was growing up as a child, his daddy, he didn't get to go. His daddy went to how they used to have the little activities where you could go. What do they call that, man? When you had you could go throw the football and be a part of the. Was that like for the All-Star games?
Oh, yeah.
They do it right before the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah,
when they have all the
little skills challenges for the children.
Yeah, he said his daddy went there and he brought back a cup and a towel home when Green Bay had the Super Bowl in New Orleans. And he used to drink out that cup and take a bath with that towel, so he became a Packers fan. I said, that ain't the dumbest shit I ever heard, Lil Wayne. That's how you show your team?
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, appreciate
For
you,
real,
bro.
For real.
I know, bro. It's that's his story, and he's sticking with it, bro. It's all right. It's all right. So I guess if the Seahawks would have been down here and he had a Seahawks cup and a towel, it'd have been the same thing. So I guess there you go.
Ain't no type of damn real loyalty to me. That shit could have been anybody.
But it is what it is.
That could have been. I mean, what are we gonna do if it would have been the year? Remember the Browns made it? Did they make it to the Super Bowl? I'm not mistaken.
No.
It was probably an AFC Championship game. But hypothetically, if it was an AFC Championship game and they was hosting that in big city, you'd have been a damn Browns fan.
Yep.
Just because you had the towel.
Yep. A brown cup and a brown towel.
Ain't that a load of shit?
That's how he was using it. So I mean, because a brown towel ain't worth nothing but to wipe your tail with it. Thank you, Jim Cam, for the super chat.
Pretty
Appreciate
much,
that,
bro.
man. I know, bro.
Pretty
It's the
much.
same color
But
every two. I was thinking the Browns would put the little emoji, the mess emoji with the eyes, that put that on their
oh
helmet
man.
and put a B
Oh man.
in the shape of a B on, but they ain't got nothing on there. How you got a brown ass helmet with a stripe? What y'all come?
I'm
What
trying to
is
figure
that?
out
What's
how you the
going on?
Browns with an orange helmet. How you the Browns with an orange helmet? I've been trying to
Yeah,
figure that
you're
out for
right.
years. You
Right, this is a rotten orange. That's how that's the
can
Browns.
y'all be the Tangerines or some shit
That's
like
what it
that?
is. The Cleveland Tangerines. That's exactly what they are. But they
The
understand. I got
Cleveland Tangerines. There you go, bro.
there you go, the Cleveland. I can't hate on the Cleveland Tangerines, bro. They're actually in the playoffs, bro, and they're doing a great job. So big ups to the Cleveland
Man,
Tangerines.
I hope they take the Chiefs out. That'll be nice, man. We could go ahead and moonwalk on in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's not
Because
gonna
man,
happen,
I bet
DC.
my whole damn paycheck the Browns ain't gonna beat the Saints in the Super Bowl. I guarantee that.
Right.
That'd be easy one now.
Well, I mean, a lot of people picked them to lose to the Steelers, and they hammered them. So, if they get rolling, bro, in that running game and that defense start getting, it'll be kind of tough for the referees to try to hold them off. So it's going to be interesting because the Cleveland playing with house money. They know they got as far as, they ain't supposed to be there, and a lot of people's minds up against them. That's supposed to be Pittsburgh up against KC. So, they playing with house money. But the thing is, Cleveland's dangerous. They got a running attack and a defense
No
that can get
doubt.
after you. So, I mean, they can listen, if they can mimic that game plan that we did, take the Saints game plan. I was like, how these teams keep getting knocked off by the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Saints gave the league the game plan on how to beat the Chiefs. We took away their deep game, and they couldn't move the ball. I mean, listen, and our defense was on the field for 40 plus minutes of that contest. They had 92 plays in that game. 50% of them, half of those plays was passing plays, had to be that offensive plays anyway. And the best they could have done was 32 points with 92 plays, 50 or 60 of them, or 50, whatever it was, offensive. So in a defense that was on the field for 40 minutes, and the best you can do was 32 points and barely beat the Saints 32-29, everybody should have been doing that, DC, mimicking that game plan.
Well, it's hard to mimic that game plan, Q, because let me tell you why. When you're looking at a Saints team that played probably only the 60 or 70% of their capabilities, man, we was off.
Yeah.
We was off, Q. We played horribly and still scored 29 points.
Right. That's why we
and
telling
they
people.
barely beat us.
Bro, we punted 8 times. I keep telling the family members, we punted 8 times in the Kansas City Chiefs matchup. 8 times. If you'd have had at least got a score, a touchdown out of those 8, one of those 8, you would have beat them. So I'm saying it's like we weren't on point. We were off. We only rushed the ball 17 times against that team? Come on. So like when we rolling, imagine we was playing off and not so good in that matchup, and you barely imagine what we looked like when we sparking.
You're talking about no Michael Thomas.
Right.
You had no Deontay Harris. Quan Alexander, I think, was gone at that point, right? I know our line was all jacked up. I think Tom Olmstead was still hurt or going in and out the game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, bro.
A lot of stuff, bro.
And yeah, Drew Brees coming back, and he wasn't really together. He got all that going on. It was all over the place, bro. But the defense definitely at that point had hit their stride, bro, and they showed you, bro. They played 92 plays, like you said. Most teams, man, they get 92 plays on their team. That is a blowout.
That's a blowout, bro. Not a 3-point win. So I mean, like I said, man, we are a team, bro. Just like I said, family, and I've said it. The Saints have the best Saint team in history. It's gonna go down as such. When we hoist the Lombardi, we're gonna beat the referees, we're gonna beat the teams. And the only way the Saints lose is if we beat ourselves, for real. There is no other way. We are head and tails. Just ahead of everybody, man. I mean, think about it. Tampa Bay has problems blocking for their quarterback. That's a big problem to have going into the playoffs. You hadn't solved that because you was thinking that that's all you need to do is this, that, and third, make some adjustments. No, you need to do a lot more than that. And then, of course, you have other teams that's in there banged up. The Saints not banged up. We missing some people like Quan, but listen, the Saints didn't need Quan to beat Tampa. We did that with Alex Anzalone. This defense is playing better than it's played in the entire season, and they're comfortable. We're healthy. We're gonna get after you, Tampa Bay. And the Saints will be sitting in the NFC Championship game against I don't care who it is. If we got to go up there to the cold to beat somebody, cool. Let it be a change of environment. We'll go up there and knock their asses in the ground too. So, I mean, listen, there is nowhere where we can go, whether it's the frozen tundra of Green Bay or the fiery pits of hell, wherever we got to go to stump somebody's ass to get to the Super Bowl, the Saints are ready to go. This is the greatest team in Saints history that we are watching, and they're ready for any challenge. And this is just what I see.
I remember two people on this show, bro, saying that basically before the preseason. I remember two guys on the sports coma saying that, bro.
Bro, we knew what we was looking at, bro. It's like, listen, what they're doing is something out of worldly, bro. You probably
I don't think
won't
I've
see
ever
this.
seen the Saints team this stacked, bro.
Bro, this is this here. We said they said the Saints are deep. Deep.
What happened?
This is a great team, bro. And the Saints are deep. They said that early on. You're absolutely right. We was calling it early on, saying that this team is going to be deeper than everybody. They are, and we're gonna just have to prove it to them. And we constantly beating teams every damn day. So I mean every damn week. We gonna hammer you. We gonna hammer you. All right. Big ups to the family members in the chat. Much love to y'all. Tess, who that to you? Tess, good to see you in the chat, baby. Lee, who that to you, man? Big ups to you as well. Playing the Pittsburgh Chiefs. All right, I got you. All right. All right.
Pittsburgh Chiefs.
All right. Big ups to the rest of the family members. Kim Phillips, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Much love. All right. Tasha says, Big Q, can I still be a part of the Saints fam, even though I'm a Cowboys fan? She says her husband is
No,
hold on, DC. Hold on. Listen to the rest. Bro, you too quick on the trigger. No.
There's a Cowboy, Q.
Oh, but bro, listen. Listen to her comment, bro. Listen, she says, Big Q, can I still be a part of the Saints, fam, even though I'm a Cowboys fan? Her husband is a diehard Saints fan, though. I still have respect for you all. See, you have to listen to the whole comment. And absolutely, Tasha, you most certainly can.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yes, Tasha.
I'm glad y'all, have a happy union, but I'm trying to figure out what the hell y'all do on Sunday, man. That got to be a hell of a house there. A Cowboy fan and a Saints fan in the same house? You couldn't stay at Lake Charles. You either Cowboy fans or Saints fan.
Listen, but see, it's an easy transition in the house when the Cowboys and Saints, because the Cowboys, they were, their season was over early. So and they had to just swallow the fact that the Saints was just kicking ass and taking names the whole season long. So that was not alone. That was solved early on. But see, when you got family members, but we so cool though. DC is what I'm saying, bro.
I'm gonna have to accept her, bro, because she was bold enough to put that in the chat, and she came. She didn't come all vengefully and talking crazy. So I'm gonna have to accept her.
There you go.
But I'm gonna say this: as soon as the Saints play the Cowboys, you got to pick a side on that game.
She gonna put the Cowboys. That's our first team.
Wait, I know. That's why I'm adding the other part. And if the Saints lose to the Cowboys, you banned for like 2 days. Not a week, but about 2 days. You just can't come in the chat and talk. We don't want to hear from you.
I got you. The rough customer. DC is a rough customer, man. Ain't no doubt about it. Roy, who that to you, bro? Good to see you in the chat. Lil Derek, what's up, fam? Who that to you? Brian Capel, what's up, Brian? Who that to you as well? Cameron, what's up, Cameron? Who that to you as well? Jordan, who that to you? And all the family members chiming in this thing. Much love to y'all. Good to see y'all in there. Iceman as well, everybody. So yeah, and there's a lot of family members. See, DC, the thing about it is there's a lot of family members that's family members of the show that are not like Saints people. They got Raiders people, they're Titan people, they're even some Tampa Bay people, they're Cowboys people. There's there's different people that come in. The family members know Seahawks and Cardinals, and they could put it in the chat.
You gotta break it down to me. I'm a family member, Brian. You gotta give them a hard time every once in a while, though. But we do respect anybody who's a Saints fan, no matter where you come from. We allow Atlanta Falcons people, the Falcon people, to come in
Yep,
here
that's
and,
true.
and talk. So if we can do that, we can get along with anybody.
Who that to you, Ali? Good to
So
see you in the
we
chat.
glad to have you here, baby.
Big ups to everybody, all the great Saint Think Tank, man. Listen, we love you. Big ups to all of the family members chiming in this thing. Listen, family, we got this. This will be a great win for the Saints. It'll be knocking them off up in here. Listen, I'm just waiting, just like some of the family members. They anxious, man. But listen, we ain't got too much long. This
I can't
Friday
wait,
night.
you. I
It's
can't
Friday
wait.
night. You got to
You
dance
know
and
what I want to
change.
see?
What's that?
I want to see what Todd Bowles gonna do, because everything from what I can find out and what I can ascertain, he ain't found a answer for our offense at all, bro. Mike Evans haven't figured it out with Lattimore
Man,
at the most. You might get one catch. If Evans get 140-yard catch, that's it. That's his day is over.
right.
We know how that go. Antonio Brown is probably the only wild card, and one of those guys on the line. I think they got a good offensive lineman. I don't remember his name. They didn't have him last time we played, I believe, or at least one of the times we played. And I believe that was the blowout game. So the pressure on Tom Brady, bro, and seeing what Todd Bowles is gonna do against our offense, that's really the keys to the game right there, bro. If we can get pressure on Tom Brady, not on the edge, but up the middle, and Sheldon with the shimmy been looking damn good to me, bro.
Yep.
So Oyamata is a monster. So if we keep that going, and you sprinkle in a little Davenport or Trey Henderson dominates like he did last time, it's gonna be a long day for them people, bro.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna keep holding up the line, bro. I'm gonna go ahead, let somebody else get up on here,
Well,
and
actually, DC,
I'm gonna give you my prediction. What you say?
go ahead, give you a prediction, bro. We're gonna shut the stream down after you. We got the Pelican post game report stuff we got to get ready for. But go ahead and give you a
Right,
prediction,
yeah,
bro.
I gotta get ready for that. My prediction would be I'm gonna say 35, bro. I don't know why. I just feel like the Saints ain't gonna even kick no field goals against them, bro. I'm
30,
gonna say 35-17, bro. I think they're gonna kind of be there. It's gonna be a tight game in spells, but eventually our depth, our talent, our motivation, our focus, our determination, all of that's gonna show up, and we're gonna slowly creep away from this team, man. The Saints look like a team that's motivated, man, and they're not happy with no goddamn playoff win. And it's kind of hard for them to fall asleep right now or play up or down to their competition. I mean, it's the playoffs, and everybody's playing at a higher intensity level, and that fits us, man. We're a team that we kind of feed off our opponent, and Tampa Bay gonna bring it, bro. They're gonna bring some disrespect. They're gonna bring some tenacity. They're gonna bring some intensity. And honestly, I think that's just gonna help the Saints. That's gonna give them more motivation to match the gas. That's gonna give Sean Payton a little more clarity on his play callers, bro, and to do the right thing. Because you can't make no mistakes in these games. And as long as we don't make any of those bonehead mistakes, man, we should be fine. And we should take care of Tampa Bay. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. I mean, we done already beat them twice convincingly. I don't see how we about to go down to the wire for the last 2 minutes in this game all of a sudden. I mean, they didn't magically just get better or acquire new players I didn't know about that's Pro Bowlers or something. It's the same damn team. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I can't wait to see it, bro.
I'm with you on that, DC. Me too, bro. And you're absolutely right, man. It's strange, man, how they picking them, but that's all right. We just gonna use the press clippings to piss off our players, so we play even harder against them. It's just, it's a win-win. All right, Verlin, thank you, bro, for your super chat. Verlin, he says, "Gotta go, family." In the words of the man himself, I love you all, and ain't nothing any of you can do about it. Stay up, Big Q. North Carolina Dome of Silence out. All right, Verlin, thank you for the super chat. Much
All
love
right,
to you.
bro.
Now, family, appreciate y'all. We're going to cut the show off right there. We got the Pelican Post Game Report, but we will pop up, family. We'll pop up in a surprise stream tomorrow, and everybody can get their shine on there. So don't feel a bit slighted if you didn't get an opportunity to shine. Don't worry, we'll be doing a special stream tomorrow
where everybody can chime in. We'll start it off with a few notes, and then I'll open it up for everybody to chime in and get on in there and spit that game. So big ups to the family members for chiming on this installment of the Coma. Please feel free to strike upon the like button. Please subscribe if you aren't a subscriber and join the Great Saint Think Tank. We love the Saints. We are diehard Saints family members in this piece. And if you're a diehard, join the Great Saint Think Tank by subscribing. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell. Like I said, we'll be back for a special Saturday show covering it all, man, going down on Saturday. We'll get swayed.
What time we doing a Saturday show, Big Q?
It'll more than likely be in the afternoon sometime, but we'll talk about it, and I'll post the information for the family member, but definitely we might get swayed on there because I know he wants to pop in on there as well. So we'll see about getting everybody down and everything on there. So it'll be a special show. We'll get you guys to chime in. We'll go at it about 3 or 4 hours and on the Saturday, man, talking about the Saints. How about that? A special Saturday Saints talk. So much love to the family members in the live stream. Who that to you? And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons. We won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Bistro.com. Freshly prepared, home delivered, restaurant quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50 plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commitment. Welcome to the One Shop Gourmet Food Delivery, specializing in affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from homebistro.com? Restaurant quality made with natural ingredients delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with homebistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with homebistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information. Located in Henderson, Nevada, BucsSupplements.com supplies over 400 pure nutritional supplements, ingredients to hundreds of thousands of consumers and manufacturers. All of their products are available from grams to metric tons through their online store at BucsSupplements.com. Orders received 4 noon Pacific Standard Time shipped the same day. Their FDA-registered CGMP manufactured and distributing facility has a staff over 60 full-time employees that take pride in providing excellent customer service and producing quality products for their customers. The wellness of the community is of the utmost importance to Bulk Supplements. It's dedicated to maintaining all health code and government regulation. Each supplement is tested in their in-house laboratory before distribution, ensuring that all products are safe for consumption. For any additional testing, they utilize reputable and vetted US-based independent labs. Customer service is available 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. p.m. Pacific Standard Time through live chat, phone, and email. Bulk Supplements products are produced in an FDA-registered and inspected manufacturing facility. So, if you want quality supplements at a quality price, Bulk Supplements is the company for you. Bulk Supplements, clean and pure bulk supplements. Check the link in the description section below for more information.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Who That family, check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That to you.